George Santos comes clean and admits he was a queen. Embattled New York GOP Congressman George Santos finally admitted to once upon a time dressing in drag. Yep, he actually admitted to something that immediately disqualifies him from politics. Last week, a former friend alleged they dressed in drag together when Santos was a teenager living in Brazil. Wow, teens in Brazil grow up fast. I didn't start dressing in drag until I had to co-host Outnumbered. By the way, yeah, that's me. My outnumbered name is Ashley Van Periwinkle. I can talk about any topic, so call me. Anyway, this weekend, reporters caught up with Santos at the airport before he could pre-board with a fake neck injury. Who hasn't? But I wonder if he was young and had fun at a festival and whether we should sue him for having a life.
Young and I had fun at a festival. Sue me for having a life.
Amen, brother or sister or whatever. So Santos did dress in drag, nothing to be ashamed of, and like lying about where your mother was on 9/11. I mean, for a guy with a 3.89 GPA, that's pretty stupid. Siena College poll shows that 71% of New York suburbanites believe he should resign, compared to 15% who said no, and he should stay, while the remaining 14% would like him to offer some tips on how to apply eyeliner. But this means that despite his unpopularity, he's still slightly more popular than the rest of Congress. For more insight, joining me live from Washington, Republican Congressman George Santos. Thank you. George. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us, George. Questions on everybody's mind. Are you planning on resigning?
No, I'm not going to resign, Greg, and I'm not going to. Maybe the media should resign for not finding out I'm a liar until after I was elected. I mean, a lot of people want you to resign, Greg. Brian Williams, Brian Stelter, Brian Kilmeade, but they're the disgusting liars, not us.
You're right. They did. What about the allegations, though? Are you worried the feds are going to be coming for you?
Yes, I'm worried the feds are coming. I've got a gas stove. Maybe I stole money from a veteran's dog, Greg, but the theft I'm worried about is the money that the government is stealing from veterans through taxes.
Oh, good point. So how did you come up with your drag name, Kitara Ravachi?
Greg, I can come up with fake names all day. George Santos, Anthony Kabler, I don't know, Ainsley Earhart. That's the easy part, Greg. The hard part is remembering what name you gave them and what your fake mother was doing on September 11th.
Finally, what would you tell your former friend who said you couldn't cut it as a professional drag queen? Was he a catty bitch?
Yes, he was a catty bitch. But I would tell her that a lot of people back then said that my lip syncing in 2005 was better than Beyonce's lip syncing during Obama's inauguration in 2009, even though the timeline doesn't really add up.
Well, thank you, Congressman. We'll check back in with you later. And please, you're always welcome on the show, Congressman George Santos. Rick, I don't know if you've been following this guy at all.
Yeah, I actually
He's
have.
a pile of lies.
Oh, my
But
God.
how is he any worse than any politician? At least I know what he is.
This is why I never wanted to cover politics. This is why I didn't want to work at the White House or work in D.C., because I didn't want anything to do with that nonsense.
Yeah.
This guy is the epitome of why the whole system is screwed up. And why is he still there?
Yeah.
When he lied about everything, and people elected him thinking he was one thing and then find out he's something completely different.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that he told them on the campaign trail turned out to be BS. I'm shocked that they haven't done more to kick him out of Congress already.
I wonder if they're waiting to find somebody. But also, it might have been clever on the Dems to hold all this stuff, right, Kat? So then he got elected, and now we're stuck with him. What do you think, Kat? Answer me.
About what? I mean, I think you should resign, but I think that I'm trying to think of somebody in the government that I don't want to resign.
Exactly. I don't know. It's like I find him, because he's such a liar, to be the most transparent politician ever. Because we know he's a liar.
Oh, my God.
Rick is going to throw something
I said
at me.
I want them all to resign, not that
Yeah.
I want just him not to. But also, we already knew. I don't think he gets to say he admits it, because he was still denying it when there was a photo of himself.
Yes.
And I said that all along, that he did drag, but he wasn't a queen. because I wish we could get a picture up there of him in it. Like, he didn't even attempt to do a contour. It looked. I don't know. It was bad.
I just kept thinking the guy who was playing, he was playing Santos. That wasn't really him, right? I kept thinking his face must hurt holding that pose for that long.
His friend's makeup is way better. Like, he was not good at it.
right.
RuPaul would see that. I don't know if he'd laugh or cry, but he'd definitely throw up.
I'm going to say, Tyrus, I'm man enough, masculine enough, comfortable in my own skin to say that George Santos was a great-looking drag queen.
No.
Hey, it's your party, man. Dance what you want with it.
He looks like Gretchen Whitmer.
But here, I'm gonna defend.
With beer goggles. With beer goggles.
Yeah. That's late in the night in Brazil, Gutfeld.
Oh, I've been there.
I'm gonna take up for George a little bit. You know.
Thank you.
Because 71% said he needed to go, right?
Yeah.
71. So that's his favorability is like right around 29%, right?
Yeah.
So he's like 6 back from the president.
Exactly.
Because the president was like 36%.
Right.
So he's in good company.
That's what
you know
I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying? Like, well, they all want you to leave. Well, president's only 8 points ahead of me. I mean, that's something saying something. And transparent by evidence and force is not the same as transparent.
Yeah.
He just got busted, and we all see through the veil,
Yeah.
so to speak. Yeah.
Sounds like someone else we know, President Biden.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
That's what I'm saying.
cooperating.
Yeah.
He's been holding this up for 20 years. Now he's cooperating.
When you're caught by the police,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Yeah, I'm cooperating
He's
now."
cooperating.
Yeah.
So it's not a crime. So that's all he's doing. He's cooperating right now.
Every serial killer ever caught, I'm cooperating now.
The bottom line is, like, let's be honest. The Democrats had him in that one of those boxes, break in case of emergency.
Right.
All of a sudden, when they found the third stash, right, and when they found the secret documents in the garage next to the Corvette, break the Santos glass now. Get this story out there, ram it through. I mean, there's no way this should be this big of a story. A congressman lied.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's no longer a drag denier, which
Yeah.
is the biggest thing. Because
Yeah.
we talked about that before. Being a drag denier apparently is the only thing he will not tolerate.
Exactly. Now he's what do you call it? A drag. He's drag.
Sympathizer?
What do you call the fat people? The body positive. He's drag positive.
Oh.
He's drag positive.
It sounds really weird you put the in front of fat people.
Like there's just one.
The fat people.
Well, no. In my neighborhood, I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay, what?
The fat family lived next door to me. PHAT, the fat family lived next
yes.
door to
Oh,
me.
that's what you were talking about.
Yes. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you people feel now? Huh? Yeah. Those fat
That
people
never
were
works.
jerks.
Will you try that home? No, babe, I meant PHAT. I meant pretty hot and tempting, not fat like you thought. Still
Wait,
doesn't
is that
work.
what it stands for? Pretty hot and tempting?
That's what came out of my mind at the moment, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
'Cause I felt like I just learned something new, Tyrus. That was brilliant.
Quick on my feet.
All right, we got to get out of this filthy segment.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to bathe afterwards. My collar's all screwed up.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.